What's up with all these makeup looks that are named after coffee? We have latte, we have pumpkin spice, but why don't we just call them what they actually are? Beautiful monochromatic makeup looks that are now popular, that were once popular in the 90s. Well, today I'm bringing you one that you might not have heard of, chai makeup. It's actually more tonal rather than monochromatic, which lends itself to be wearable for pretty much everybody. It's also perfect for those cozy fall days, even though it is 77 degrees right now here in Los Angeles, but I digress. By the way, I'm Jeannie. I'm a pro makeup artist. I live here in Los Angeles. I work with celebrities, beauty brands, and everyone in between. Welcome to my channel. I've already done my brows. If you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how to do those, I can link some videos in the description box below. Now onto skin prep. For moisturizer, I'm going to go in with the Confidence in a Cream by IT Cosmetics. I have this in my kit as well. You'll notice a lot of the things that I use on my face are in my kit, and that's because I love them. Once again, going around the brows. Keeping with the theme, IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream Eye Cream. Just tapping it in. This is so hydrating. It's a really lovely eye cream. And it's going to be perfect to catch any fallout that we might have from the eyeshadow, as well as hydrating the area. Pro tip, if you're in a hurry and you need to go directly from moisturizer to foundation, take a clean powder puff and just press the moisturizer into your skin. This will pick up any excess that's still laying on the surface of your skin and then push in anything else so then you can go directly into foundation. For foundation today, I promise I'm not sponsored. We're going to use the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I actually found this in my everyday kit and I haven't used it in a while and I really love it. So I just wanted to use it for this tutorial. It's really good at color correcting. It is more of a full coverage, but it's easy to sheer out because I want to do a little bit more of a light to medium coverage today. Nothing too heavy. Since the focus today is going to be on the tones that we're using, I want really pretty evened out skin. So I'm starting, as always, in the center of my face where I need the most coverage. I always start in the place where I need the most coverage and then work my way out. Wherever you place your foundation, that's where the most color is going to go. So you're going to want to place it where you need the most coverage and then blend out. I'm using a really thin layer. And as you can see, it's already correcting that redness that I had on my face without a lot of product. It's just taking whatever's left on the brush and tapping it in, buffing it into the skin. I'm not adding any more product because I don't need it. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and place it on my lid all the way up to the brow bone just to conceal any redness or any discoloration we might have to prep it for the eyeshadow. Just taking a brush and then sweeping it across the lid and then up to the brow bone. I prefer this over eye primers. For me, it just works because it does some color correcting. And I know what concealers work for me and in my kit, so this is what I use instead of an eyeshadow primer. So because we're talking about fall tones, we're talking about chai makeup, warm colors, burgundies, warm browns, I have this palette that I've been hanging on to and needing a reason to use. It's the Brazilian Glow palette from Latte. Honestly, you could say that this is probably a summer palette, but if you look at the colors, they work for autumn as well. You've got these beautiful like warm browns, deep browns, you've got some burgundies and some kind of coppers in there. It's a beautiful, beautiful tonal palette and it's perfect. Also, I was thinking that we could pull some of these colors to use as blush. I love multi-use products. Just because it's an eyeshadow palette doesn't mean it just has to be used as eyeshadow. It could be used for contour, it could be used for eyebrows, it could be used for blush. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with the palette like I showed you, and we're going to go in with this color Cocktail. Starting with a cocktail is never a bad thing. And we're just going to place this color all over the lid up to the brow bone, just to set the concealer. I'm going to take this color Poolside and apply it in the crease. Now for me, I tend to go above the crease with any color on the brow bone because I have deep set eyes. That just works for my eye shape. And I will take it all the way across and then down, sort of creating that outer V. Sometimes you might need to tilt your head up just to get in there and create that shape, but blending it out like that. Then I'm going to take this one size pencil. It's busty brown. It's just a chocolate brown. And I'm going to smudge it all along my lash line and then take a small brush and blend it out. We want to soften it, but keep the darkness kind of concentrated at the lash line. It doesn't have to be clean or precise because we're just going to be buffing it out. I know this looks kind of wonky right now, but I promise it's going to come together. This is just to create depth at the lash line underneath the color that we're going to put on top of it. And then with that same brush, we're going to go into this color called Cloudless. It's this deep chocolatey metallic color. And we're just going to place it over the liner and then tap it all over the lid up to the crease. You'll notice we're sort of clashing tones here. That's the idea. So you've got a warm tone in the crease and then more of a cooler chocolatey tone on the lid. And then for just a little bit of flair, we're just going to take a finger and go into this color Sunny's Out, which is this burgundy kind of color, and just place it right on top in the center of the lid. I'm going to take the pencil one more time and tightline underneath. Forgive my tightline face. Anyone who knows how to do this in a pretty way, let me know. And we're going to curl lashes, getting right in there into the root, giving it a good squeeze. And then I recommend to use a really black mascara. This is the Liquid Lash Volumizer from Thrive Cosmetics. I love their mascaras. This is their newest one. It's really beautiful. It's safe for sensitive eyes. So if you have any kind of eye sensitivities, particularly to mascaras, this is a great one to try. And it's really, really black. Now we're going to finish the face. I'm just going to take a little bit more eye cream. I know we have foundation on, but I want to be able to clean up under the eye without disturbing the foundation too much. And this is one of my tricks. Just take it really gently, kind of tapping, not rubbing too hard. Back in with the eyeliner, the lower waterline. I want to smoke out the bottom of the eye just a little bit, but before I do that, I must do concealer. That way, when you have the concealer down, you can place whatever's on the lower lash line on top of it. Otherwise, if you're doing the lower lash line first and then worrying about trying to get that concealer right up into the edge of that makeup, there might be a gap and you don't want to have to worry about that. So I recommend to do concealer first. I swear I'm not sponsored by them for this video. It's just funny how coincidentally I just happened to pull out all It Cosmetics today on my It Cosmetics brush. It's funny at this point, honestly. And just taking that concealer, I like to take the other end of the brush and buff it all out. Picking up that little smudge brush that we used on the lid, I'm going to go back in to Cloudless, which is that smoky, sparkly chocolate brown. Smudge out that lower lash line just to give it a little bit of smoke. One of my tricks I like to do as well, I'll extend the lower lash line out and then just kind of feather it up. And if you need to, you can always go in with a fluffy brush and just soften that as well. Taking the RCMA pressed powder and Amethyst, this is a new favorite of mine. On a powder puff, I'm just going to set the under eye, just lightly. For us light to medium fair folks, this is perfect for brightening and setting that under eye. I like to take it in the middle of my forehead and my chin just to kill any shine that I don't want to be there. Because I'm going to be using mostly powder products as far as blush and bronzer because I wanted to use that eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go back in with the powder on a brush and just set my whole face. Just so then when we're putting powder on top, it doesn't stick to the foundation. The powder creates a barrier between it. So looking at this palette now, I'm not sure that there is actually a color that would be suitable as a bronzer for my skin tone, but we're just going to give it a try and see how it works out. I'm going to go in with this color called Cool Down, just on a big kind of fluffy brush, and let's see. Actually, that works. I love it when that happens. Just sculpting out the cheeks, across the nose, taking a little bit more on the forehead, and then my favorite on the jawline. When I'm doing a complete makeup look, and what I mean by that is when I'm taking the time to do bronzer, blush, an eye, a lip, full face, right? So what I'll do is I'll do lips before I do any kind of blush. I usually end up doing bronzer because that gives me an idea of warmth on the face and where I like to go as far as what direction I like to go with the lip. And then once I have the lip on, I tend to try and match the lip to the cheek as far as tones or even as far as density. So then I'm not stuck with the problem of having a really strong lip and a strong cheek. even if I'm doing more of a neutral look or a tonal look like I'm doing today. There's a method to my madness, I promise. I'm not saying you have to do it like this. This is just something that works for my brain and works for me aesthetically, because then I can see all the puzzle pieces coming together. So for lip, one of the things I do want to talk about is I got these Lisa Eldridge lip liners because I want to give you options for deeper skin tones as well. I know I'm more of a light to medium skin, but if there's someone who's watching who's maybe a little bit curious on how to make this fall tonal chai makeup work for you, think about just deepening any of the tones that I've used. So as far as lip liner, I probably would go in with something like this. This is Sorcery. It's a really warm kind of medium tone brown right there. But then I also have this beautiful color called Decade, a warmer, deeper brown. Beautiful, beautiful on medium to deep skin. Also beautiful on lighter skin as well. You just have to know how to manipulate it and how to use it. Unless you're going for that deep, dark, warm, chocolatey brown lip, which by all means go for it because 'tis the season. But I think I'm going to steer more in the area of the medium lip liner, and then we're going to hit it with a really great lipstick that I can't wait to show you. Taking Sorcery, just going to line the lips. I like to do a tiny overdraw on the Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take my finger and just blend that top lip in particular. Maybe add a little bit more to the bottom lip. So my natural instinct would be in this scenario with this lip liner to put either a nude gloss or a nude lipstick on top of this and call it a day. Blend it in, it's beautiful. But because we're doing a tonal look, we're doing something warm and cozy, I wanted to stick with warm tones. So I thought that Coffee Bean from Revlon would be perfect. Opening up the palette, once again, I want to show you how we can use this as blush as well. I'm thinking we're going to stick in the realm of where the lipstick is. So to me, that's probably this color right here, which is Carefree, or maybe even Sunrise. This might be a little too dark, but I think if we maybe mix the two and apply lightly, let's just see what happens. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the brush into both colors and then I'm tapping it out on the back of my hand, just so then I can get an idea of how it's going to look. I know it looks strong. Don't panic. We're going to take our foundation brush and just go over the edges and soften it and just remove a little bit of that product. The beauty of makeup, you can always take it off. You can tweak it, you can take it off, you can add. It's usually harder to subtract, I'll be honest, but in cases like this with blush, if you use the right tools, you can make it work for you, usually. Some other blush options that I wanted to show you, even though we did work from the eyeshadow palette. I have these Tower 28 blushes right here. This is Power Hour and After Hours. These are a little bit more deep, probably suitable for more medium to deep skin. I have worn both of these blushes. You have to use them very sparingly if you're more on the light skin side like me. So with the blushes, thinking along the same lines as the lip liners that I showed you, you would just go deeper, but staying in that same tonal family. Okay, so here is our chai makeup look. I absolutely love it. It's so stunning. This really is a makeup that anybody can wear, no matter how deep your skin tone is. You just have to think about how deep you want to go with your colors, with your tones. By tones, I mean the warm browns, the reds, the burgundies, the yellows, the bronzy colors. As always, thank you so much for watching. This look was so fun to do. I might just start wearing a warm brown lip for the rest of fall because I'm pretty obsessed with it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Bye.